It's Christmas Day. Alright, Mayor Rogers displeased with the police department. What else is new? Golden Bird ground router spill threatens Freeburg with flooding, and the fact Freeburg's #1 paper, Mayor Rogers, I will bring order to the police station. Yeah, whatever. Gorshkov, drank too much, yes, because you're drunk. Yes, because you're drunk. Some pipes in my house. Okay, yeah, come tomorrow. I swallowed my car key. Last night I was shitting blood. I think I better get to the hospital. Jesus Christ. O'Sullivan. Please be advised that we are unhappy with the efficiency of Freeburg PD. We're cutting the department's budget. Alright, what the fuck ever. Who's our least effective person? Darius is old. Alright, Marjorie Lump has been living in a trailer since she lost her job. Marjorie Lump goes to buy alcohol every day. Hello, I've been staying at this motel with my sweetie, having a little fun and relaxing, you know? Then we saw a creepy guy with a scar on his face coming into the next room. I recognized the guy right away. I've seen him like 5 times on TV. His picture's all over the news. He's suspected of murdering a bunch of people. He's still here, but you better hurry. Alright. Let's try the trailer park first. Oh, did I get that stuff? Nope, okay. Yep. Teacher bit a boy on the face because he was biting the other children. Police are on the phone with the child's mother. Come and arrest this menace or I'll shoot her like a mad dog. I mean, to be fair, that's a little extreme, biting a child in the face. But, perhaps the mother should, discipline her child better. One of our employees was brutally assaulted on the way to work. The poor man is currently in the hospital. We need 2 officers to his ward within the next half hour. Tell them to give him whatever he wants. Bring him a pillow, buy him a soda, scratch his back, anything. As far as the investigation into this incident, we already know who was behind the attack, and we'll take it from here.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Okay, so I guess it was actually that dude. Good job, Mole. Fantastic. We'll put Turner as lead on this one. Peter Murphy and Jim Collins kidnapped several black children from kindergarten. How?
1310 in progress.
A telemarketer lured Claire Dick to a clinic for a free rejuvenation procedure. She arrived at 2 o'clock and received various injections. Afterward, her whole body was swollen, her muscles went numb, and her face trembled with unbearable pain. Moreover, the clinic is requiring her to pay the full amount of $500 for the procedure. She doesn't have that kind of money, so they insist she'll have to pay in installments. Good job, guys. It actually was that person. I was kind of thinking it might be a false alarm.
910B in progress.
A man was robbed by 2 thugs armed with nunchucks. One came from behind and hit me right on the back of the knees, and the other struck me right in the nose. I didn't pass out, but near enough. They took all my money and just walked away slowly. Alright. Peter Murphy and Jim Collins work as plumbers, and they always go on calls together. They don't wear uniforms, they prefer tracksuits. The kidnappers took 2 black boys and a dark-skinned girl. The kidnappers escaped with the children in a white van. The young teacher was focused on a book and didn't notice the kidnappers came up behind her and knocked her out. On the playground, we found a rag with traces of chloroform, the novel Catcher in the Rye, and some fake tickets to a performance by imaginary illusionist Harry Barshnikov, and a wrench. A gravelly voice of Mrs. Adams just phoned in with a new demand. There's brazen black virgins spreading their infection right in broad daylight. Remove them from the street. I'm afraid for our health. Whoops. Bomb threat definitely needs more people. A cleaner was mopping her boss's office and then found a strange bundle of wire sticking out from under the table. I'm afraid to even move, whispered the woman. This is fake. And this is not. Hey, I just noticed this guy's name is Scanlon. Two guys with nunchucks are calmly walking down the street. Hey, ninja wannabes, throw down those toys. An elderly woman with Alzheimer's barricaded herself in the room with all the medications and started swallowing everything she could get her hands on. The nurse say they can't break down the door on their own. The girls were only handing out flyers for a hairdresser salon. The bomb in question was just a mess of wires, nuts, and bolts pushed into a piece of soap. Apparently, someone from the office staff was playing a practical joke. Wow, someone should get fired. In progress. A passerby saw a car drive up under the curb, knock over a trash can, and then speed off, swerving down the road. You gotta deal with this drunk driving. There's children walking around.
411.
Good job. Though I wouldn't really say offender caught. Offender stopped, more like. I mean, this is not real, but... I still need another frame. I need one of them lighting the thing. Nope, that's not it. Okay. So they come up behind the teacher, they hit her with a wrench. Then they abduct the girls. It is a white van, but I don't know if, well, we'll leave it there for now. I don't think that will be the white van. I think it'll be a detailless white van. Good job. And the day.
Mr. Boyd, there's some armed men on the floor. Mr. Boyd, there's a lot of them.
I didn't catch that. Say again?
Oh, fuck.
Excuse me, Mr. Boyd. It seems I accidentally frightened your secretary. Ah, they published these stories in a book? My grandfather read me these stories from the old newspapers whenever I was ill. As a child, I was often ill, several times a year. And you know what, Mr. Boyd? You're no Bobby Flash.
I am aware of that.
No. I mean it as a compliment. You want to clean up all the crime in Freeburg, right?
Or so I dreamed, once upon a time.
Do you know why you failed, Mr. Boyd? Do you know why Bobby Flash always wins? Because when you're surrounded by cartoon criminals, the only way to win is to become a cartoon cop. You're no cartoon, Mr. Boyd. You suffer too much. You have too many doubts, too much fear, too much internal conflict. Maybe that's why the people of this city forgive all your mistakes. Because you seem like a real human being. If Bobby Flash made a mistake, we'd never forgive him. From Bobby Flash, we want cold, calculated perfection. And this is why I've decided that I don't mind if you keep your job.
What, have you abandoned your insane plan to storm the city hall?
You think it insane? To solve all my problems in a single stroke? Assuming, of course, that we're properly prepared.
Let's say we do burn City Hall to the ground and kill Rogers. What next? You simply walk into the smoke-filled room and take a seat in his smoldering chair?
No, Mr. Boyd. I've been preparing for a year for what happens next. I'll give the prosecutor's office an impressive folder with compromising evidence against Rogers. Information about how he suppressed his political adversaries, finally lost his mind, and plotted to rain blood on the streets of Freeburg. Of course, Troy Starr, faithful City Hall employee that he is, will easily confirm all this. At the same time, my dear Jordan will finally decide to break her silence and tell everyone how that fool Rogers threatened her, forced her to kill all the victims of his sexual violence to ensure their unpleasant stories would never come to light. Of course, everyone will understand that we didn't have time for formal complaints. The night before Mayor Rogers' private security detail would plunge the city into chaos, our valiant police chief Jack Boyd made the difficult decision to arrest the mayor of Freeburg. Unfortunately, Rogers descended into delusion and engaged in a shootout with the police, which ended in his death. We'll have to call an early election to replace the mayor, and of course, it won't be too difficult to win the election fairly.
And then?
You know, Mr. Boyd, most of the facts that I collected in Rogers' file are quite true. Anyone who reads through the mountain of evidence would have no doubt that this man was the most vile person in the world. Murderer, a rapist, thief, racist, sexist. Are you a sexist, Mr. Boyd?
I'm sorry?
Are you a sexist, Mr. Boyd? Or perhaps racist?
I try not to be.
That's it. I as well. Although I have long been known under a revolutionary pseudonym, I myself am no revolutionary. I believe in evolution. I am convinced that a city which offers such broad support for racist gangs, a city where people cheer as feminist protests are suppressed, a city which for decades has tolerated corrupt officials, I say this city has no interest in a mayor who unconditionally stands for freedom, equality, and the rule of law. Not yet. But perhaps they are ready for a mayor who tries to stand for freedom, equality, and the rule of law. At least when the situation allows it. That's why you're so popular, Mr. Boyd. The city is ready for people like you and me. For people who are ready to make compromises. I'm counting on you, Mr. Boyd.
And, when will they be ready?
I beg your pardon?
You said that the city isn't ready for a mayor who stands for freedom, equality, and the rule of law. When will they be ready? Who decides when they're ready?
I'll decide.
Easy. Freiburg Tribune. Jim Batten Bakery invites students to a baking day. The Golden Bird study. Sports nutrition destroys brain cells. And the fact Freiburg's #1 paper. Collection of ancient Jewish coins recovered from city dump. No, you can't go to the museum for the day. When am I going to get to know who my officers support? Mr. Boyd, I decided to make the challenge a little easier for you. Unfortunately, our friend Troy Starr can't risk his cover by prying too deeply into City Hall security details, but I found another solution. Over the next 2 weeks, you'll be directed to certain people who may possess useful information. Useful, that is, for planning the assault on City Hall. Some of these people might not feel like talking, so you may need to send more than 1 or 2 detectives. Plus, some of them might get cold feet and decide not to share their information with us, even try to flee the city, so don't delay.
214 in progress.
A shopkeeper reports that a naked older woman just ran past his store. She was barefoot with long gray hair. She looked inside the shop, completely naked except for a blanket thrown over her shoulders. When I offered to help, the old woman just cursed and went away. Unemployed, the former head of City Hall security, dismissed 18 months ago for failure to report to duty.
210 in progress.
Retiree Hulda Hutchinson reports that several school children are running around the street turning over trash cans. Send someone quick and teach these little assholes a lesson.
911 in progress.
Amy Marabin said that a homeless man snuck into the kitchen and ate almost everything there was, including the powdered sugar. We locked him in there. Come and take this asshole to the station. I still don't have anybody's political views. Assault. Oh. 12 positions are marked on the location where you'll need to place your available forces. Some of these points are poorly protected and are suitable for an assault, while the others will stand up to a tank. Figure out which spots are the weakest, interrogate people, and gather information. You can send up to 3 fighters to each point based on what they're good at and the information you've been able to collect. An experienced commander who coordinates operations usually heads a small group of fighters during an assault. Mobile fighter equipped with assault rifles and light equipment, responsible for sweeping the premises and able to penetrate a building using non-standard entryways. Soldier in heavy gear, carrying a ram and several types of explosives, able to break through the protective and reinforced positions, can target any object to create a tactical advantage. They usually work alongside assaulters who supply cover. Covert fighter, equipped with binoculars and rifles with telescopic sights. They track field operations from the distance and provide cover. Soldier in special diving equipment designed for combat missions underwater, armed with light machine guns and underwater cutting torches. Okay. Coleman.
214, 911.
Adams. Tremaine. Okay. Recently, we tried to replace a rusted-out sewer grate to the pond a ways off the boat station. We sent in a young diver who panicked in the muddy water. He lost his tank and nearly drowned. I asked for a couple more experienced divers, but nobody showed. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. The main entrance to the city hall is a real thoroughfare. A terrorist could walk through like they're like nothing. I keep telling them, give me an experienced military force, preferably with large caliber rifles, but nobody paid attention. Alright, the entrance to City Hall is going to be 7. Military force with large caliber rifles. Breacher. Okay.
1111B in progress.
Ralph Engel approached a girl to ask for directions, and she took him for a client who wanted to buy cocaine. I'm on for anything in life, but never drugs. My mother won't even let me try wine. That's right, we have this. So let's,
in progress.
oops. A group of friends got drunk and decided to play a game of darts using knives. One of the guys missed and injured a young female. Okay. Punkdana, but then take these 4 losers.
1113 in progress.
A high school student is selling guns in the school bathroom. The brat brought a whole backpack full, said one of the school workers. Mrs. Brooks says that her neighbors are growing marijuana. They're not even hiding it. They're growing those evil bushes right in the window. Great job, guys. Ah, shit. How many people do I need? 3. Alright.
We've got a situation.
The knife is still
here.
stuck in the girl's side and the wound is bleeding. There's a menacing crowd gathering around the man that threw the knife. Sees the man. The man jumps on the bar and runs for the exit. Run after him.
415 completion.
The bathroom is empty, but one of the booths is closed and there's some clattering coming from inside. Come out with your hands up and your pants buttoned. As the door of the booth swings open, out flies a guy wearing a backpack, 2 guns in his hands. He shoots wildly into the wall. Drop your weapons.
1113 completion.
Non-automatic weapons. Mr. Boyd, our girlfriends are planning another party, and this time we want something really special. I'll be very grateful if you choose some of your more well-built and sexually uninhibited employees. We'll take care of the rest. In case that wasn't clear enough, they'll be asked to perform a striptease. We're tired of the clowns that the escort agency keeps sending us. Okay.
1110 in progress.
An informant says that there's 3 women that are traveling together, and they've come to the city to sell some stolen diamonds. The jewels are hidden up the ass of one of the women.
1111C complete.
Mrs. Brooks accidentally put on her husband's glasses and mistook an ordinary flower pot for a marijuana plant. Fuck, boss. We wanted to shake our asses. If we wanted to shake our asses pole dancing, we wouldn't have spent so much time at the academy. Though Adams really loved it, especially the one we call Granny. She really took him under her wing. I don't think he'll be coming back to work anytime soon. $10,000! Excellent. We found jewelry. The city's garbage collection crews drank sour milk at the company gathering and haven't been able to work for several days. Meanwhile, the streets have turned into a dump. Emergency services are jammed up from people calling for help. Aha! I think Shift A will be Robespierre. But I can't see my current people.
213 in progress.
An enraged man yelled into the phone, complaining about a neighbor who's making such a racket in the next house that he can't sleep. This degenerate turned up his speakers to the max again and just started rapping. His whole house is shaking. Just remember to be careful with him. The fool thinks he's some kind of gangster. So he bought himself several guns, to which he always brings out when anyone tries to go talk to him. He doesn't have any sense, so he might start shooting. Okay. Bat? No, that's not gonna be right. They came from behind her and knocked her out. He might have chloroformed her. It doesn't say. They work as plumbers. So they would have gotten out of the car and then sped off with the kids. Because that's going to be a plumber truck. Hire a snitch. Pay an employee to gather information for you. I want to hire Percy. Percy to be my snitch. Oh, perfect. That's what we wanted. Alright, so now... Now we can make 2 shifts that will always work well together. Alright, Freeburg Tribune. Drug laboratories explode in the suburbs. Golden Bird. ATM thefts plague city. And the Fact, Freeburg's #1 paper. Holiday festivities block city center. Drank too much? Yes. Drank too much? Yes. My son is down with a serious illness. Come tomorrow. My cat, no. No. My mother was just hit by a car. Yes. No. No. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we just listened to that one. That one. Oh gosh. Let's take some people off of this. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. All those.
410A in progress.
An ambulance brought in a man suffering from a gunshot wound to the stomach. The ambulance was followed by an SUV, from which 2 armed men exited wearing black suits. The ambulance driver saw them and phoned the police. They're here to finish the job. Okay. Mr. Boyd, we threw a great party for our retiring accountant, Marcel Piotic, as part of a surprise and part of the surprise was a big cake with a stripper inside. We had fun and drank lots of drinks, but when we brought out the cake in the room, the stripper didn't pop out. The girl was lying inside, showing no signs of life. It's unclear whether she asphyxiated, overdosed, or just died of natural causes. We didn't call an ambulance. She was way beyond help. But the party can still be saved. Could you send a couple of your men so they can quietly carry the body out of the building? We didn't tell Marcel she was dead, only that she fell ill and lost consciousness. Our accountant is a cute little elderly man, and his heart could give out if we hit him with the news. Yeah. Alright. Alright. So Shift B is gonna be... We're gonna really move around our... And then everybody green is going to go to Shift A. That way, nobody is going to, nobody's going to have any problems with each other. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
210 in progress.
Jeanette Allen, a nun, said that she and her wards from Sunday school came to Tor Freeburg, but as they were pursuing their cultural activities, they came upon a shocking sight. There were 6 men and 2 women exposing themselves right there in the park. They started caressing each other, kissing, and commit other shameful acts. An elderly lady who was walking by fell down dead upon seeing the horrifying display. Of course, she's now in a better world, but what about the poor children? Okay.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
It's going to be much, much easier when they're all the same.
210 complete.
Excellent. Is this why these guys always failed?
410A in progress.
An old man looking out the window saw a woman covered in blood sitting on the pavement near the Lucky Color shop. Oh, fuck.
711 in progress.
Sierra Bittner saw 2 of her neighbors and another 8 of their friends grab a man in a Santa Claus suit right in the corridor of her floor. They tied him up and dragged him into their apartment. They were obviously on some kind of drugs, and they were pointing pistols at Santa. I heard them singing Christmas songs and dancing around while Santa was screaming and crying for help. Okay. What? Oh, Fitzsimmons. Our accountant, Norma Malone, is very unwell. She's nauseous and dizzy. Send a squad car to take her home.
410A complete.
The girl's life was not in danger. She accidentally knocked over a can of red paint while she was picking out colors.
We've got a situation here.
At first, they can't hear the knocking because of all the noise. Finally, everything calms down inside, and a stone voice from behind the door asks, "Who's there?" "Santa's helpers, open up." The apartment falls into turmoil, and some of the suspects begin to climb out the window. The apartment's on the 6th floor. Don't move or I'll shoot.
711 complete.
Awesome.
in progress.
A gypsy camp has settled on the outskirts of the city, and the local skinheads are outraged. 24 of the thugs, armed with metal pipes, attack the gypsies, many of whom are women and children. "Hurry, they're beating everyone, even the children," shouted one of the witnesses over the telephone. Okay. Oh man, Shift B is gonna have, like, Markiplier and Florida.
In progress.
Excellent. A tearful young man with a guitar started bawling philosophical songs under the window of a house. People were throwing garbage at him, but he kept on singing something about if newborn babies could speak, they would be the most intelligent beings on earth. My neighbor grabbed a gun and went to confront him, and I'm afraid it's not going to end well. Oh. I served the state for many years, digging through the muck every time a pipe breaks. City Hall was always trying to save a buck, but they paid me while it lasted. But there was some shady repair firm came in and swallowed up all the government contracts. I always suspected Mayor Rogers was getting a kickback. So I was out in the street, but I had all my old knowledge. Hell, I could start giving tours of the city's utility systems. For example, I bet no one but me knows that if you go down a certain manhole, you can find a wobbly wall. Break through it, and you'll be right under City Hall, in a cellar with archived documents, which are never really even guarded. A certain manhole. That would be 5. Okay. No new frames found? Okay, then I must have them all. Okay, so I must have all the frames here. Wait! Hang on. But then the machine began to smoke more than usual. So he hit it with the okay. There we fucking go! Perfect. You didn't grab any white kids. 2 black boys and a dark-skinned girl. No, you did not grab any white kids. Wait, is he dressed like Mario? Because he's a plumber?
213 complete.
Alright, good job, ladies. Yes! Mole is our best fucking detective ever. Mole's fucking great. Eliminate the gang. I've destroyed this gang. Fuck yeah! Alright. We'll declare her dead. And end the day.